When I moved back to my family's 30-acre ranch in northern Colorado, I thought I was finally free from the grind. No more HOA fees, city traffic, or nosy neighbors. My ranch had been in the family since the 1950s, and I intended to retire there, raise horses, and enjoy the kind of peace only wide skies and red barns can offer. But peace didn't last long. About a year into settling in, a new luxury development called Aspen Ridge Estates sprang up on the neighboring parcel. $500,000 homes with synthetic lawns and mountain views that conveniently looked straight over my pasture. And with the homes came, you guessed it, the HOA. Within a month of the first residents moving in, I got a knock at my door. A sharply dressed man holding a clipboard and wearing an Aspen Ridge HOA badge introduced himself as Lyle Hammonds, the HOA president. "We're starting a beautification initiative," he said. "Your outbuildings are rustic. We'd appreciate it if you could paint your barn something more neutral. Also, we noticed your horses are quite loud in the mornings." I stared at him. "You moved next to a working ranch," I said. "This isn't a golf course." That was the beginning of an all-out war. Lyle and his HOA cronies began filing complaint after complaint, even though I wasn't part of their HOA. They went to the county, tried to challenge my grandfathered agricultural use permits, and claimed my livestock, fencing, and tractors lowered their property values. Then came the big move. The HOA's lawyer sent me a formal cease and desist notice, claiming my ranch operations were a public nuisance, and that they were exploring legal avenues to revoke use rights and recommend property reassignment under community standards. Translation: they were trying to force me off my land. What they didn't know was that I've worked in commercial real estate for 22 years. I know how zoning works. I know how land is bought. And I know how desperate developers get when they're overextended, especially ones like the firm that built Aspen Ridge. So I did some digging. Turns out the HOA didn't own all the common areas in their community yet. The developer still held title to the greenbelt, the walking trails, and a 12-acre plot adjacent to my eastern pasture. Land the HOA planned to buy and build a clubhouse on but hadn't yet closed the deal. So I made an offer. A quiet, all-cash, above-market offer to the developer, who, facing financial issues due to a delayed Phase 2 build, accepted without notifying the HOA. A month later, the paperwork was finalized. I now owned the open parcel directly behind 14 Aspen Ridge homes, including their scenic greenbelt. The HOA found out when I put up a big wooden sign that read, "Future Site, Silver Ridge Ranch Agricultural Expansion, Livestock Manure Storage and Training Arena. Cue the chaos." Lyle showed up at my gate fuming. "You can't do this." "Oh, I can," I said. "Zoned agricultural, just like my ranch. And now it's mine. But, this land was supposed to be for our community. You should have bought it when you had the chance." What followed was a glorious meltdown. HOA members called emergency meetings. Homeowners panicked as their property values dipped overnight. One couple even listed their house within the week, citing unexpected agricultural encroachment. Eventually, the HOA offered to buy the land back at a premium. I told them no. Instead, I negotiated individual access fees. If they wanted to use the trailheads or maintain view-friendly landscaping, they'd have to lease the access rights annually at a healthy markup. Now, every year, the Aspen Ridge HOA cuts me a 5-figure check just so their residents can keep walking their dogs in a field they thought they owned. And that manure storage sign? I left it up just for fun. I even added a fake construction permit to it once. They haven't messed with me since. Moral of the story: if an HOA tries to kick you out of your own land, buy the land they love most. Then watch them pay you to stay.